Okay, I found a really good standing rock, like it was made for it. Down a steep rocky slope. You can see how thick it is. And you can see the path of the fire. It's hard to see on my camera, sorry. There's burnt, all these dead. Further down in the field, there's burnt, dead ones. That's a lot of work. There's a patch hidden by the trees. That's how much water we have right now. Again, it just stormed. So this is maybe the last thing I wanted to show you. I'm a bit doom and gloom about the mess that we made and how much work it is, but on the optimistic front, when you have a piece like this, if it's not too wet, and a lot of the equipment now is a lot more lightweight and not crushing the earth, the soil. A little mulcher could just drive around, and all these kind of little ones, and any that you decided, and I would let that be the decision of the professional and the forest manager and the management team, including whoever owns the piece of land whoever is taking care of that piece of land, legally or illegally. Shout out. So this used to be an irrigated hayfield. I'm pretty sure. It looks like it used to be an irrigated hayfield. And in order to drive tractors around and gather the hay, every single one of those trees would be gone. You can kind of almost see how it's a bit of a quadrilateral rhomboid field, and of course it extends. There's willows in that catchment pond. Willows are a wonderful tree to use in part of this system. It's all a system, and there's so much I don't have time. I'm not a professional. Certainly a professional would not have enough time to go through all the tools that there are to effectively manage any kind of landscape, including forested grassland, with any amount of rainfall, organic matter in the soil, and temperatures and seasonal changes. But after it's been completely empty of trees, now it's grown in with all these trees, and it's an excellent opportunity to make management decisions about which trees you want to save while they're small and easy to deal with. It's just like a garden. It's not that there's weeds and good plants, it's just which plants need to go together, how close, and what sort of relationship do they have to each other, and how can they all maximize their benefit out of the available sunlight, nutrients, rainfall, and also be protected from any sort of natural disasters. So, plus it'd just be super fun to take a little machine and drive around in there and mulch down all the little brushy ones. And then you're leaving mulch. This was the thing that I didn't mention in the previous two. This is sort of the end story that turns into the beginning because it's a cycle. You put that mulch down. So there's the biochar, and then if you had a ton of mulch down, and there'd still be a lot of trees that you could use for other things, any kind of structure or product. Again, willows have a lot of uses. But even if you weren't trying to find a way to utilize all the trees, you could put literally all of them down on the ground in some combination of, again, contour felling and this mulch chipping and paying attention to how the water flows and trying to spread and slow the water and put organic matter on top of certainly sand or clay anytime you can and in places where it'll stay. And then that mulch will break down for a long time, and it does the same thing as with biochar. It absorbs nutrients and water and holds it for a long time. If you do any kind of hugelkultur gardening or any sort of permaculture, wood chips is a huge resource for something like that. So And then that would end up being what you would call silvopasture or perhaps just savanna. And in all of the landscapes and climate zones, savanna is generally what you want. If you're going too hard toward desert, like desert is a really true natural desert is a really amazing ecosystem, but we don't want the majority of the Earth's surface to be turning into desert, is um, to be avoided. And we don't want it being like choked, dark, dense forest because that ends up not having too many nutrients or light, and it's not very livable actually either. So, and straight grassland is actually also an amazing ecosystem. I can't say anything bad about it. But definitely over the surface of the earth, certain places will be grasslands and certain places will be forests. And if your forest is tending toward a savanna with a grassland, I think that's going to be, in my opinion, using your nutrients the best and your water and having the most opportunities for especially growing food also, which you might need to be doing more of that in one way or another. All right. Blessings to you all.